Now because I don't respect you, girl, scared for you. I'm with you, my love. When get planets, hey, I can't delay. I'm with you, my love. With you, everything is very, your love, they make my heart to do, nobody can love you the way I do. I'm with you, my love. With you, everything is very, your love, they make my heart to do, nobody can love you the way I do. I'm with you, my love. Same thing, way they make me feel like say you will be my wife. Now the same thing whipping they make my friend talk say I dey waste my time. Now because I don't respect you, girl, scared for you every night and day. I dey pray for you because of you I dey fly like butterfly, my love. And this thing make people they say I don't lose my sense, my pain, but nobody can stop me from loving you. I'm into my love. Till everything is when you get love, my heart to do, nobody can love you the way I do. I'm into my love. Till everything when you get love, my heart to do, nobody can love you the way I do. I'm into my love. You see the way all the things they flow, I'm so nice to see how they love you so. Girl, I just suspect say they no. Tell her you be the person where they make me feel. Ooh, tell them say you're the blessing, and that's why you are so interesting. Nobody is understanding the way you are. Oh, my beautiful girl. Now all these make people they say I don't know my face, my pain, but they can't stop me from loving you. I'm into my love. Everything is there. They know my heart to do. Nobody can love the way I do. I'm into my love. With you, everything is better when you love. It makes my heart to do. Nobody can love you the way I do. I'm into my your love, they affect my brain. To me, they make me go insane. It go make sense if you come my place. You know, I go talk and again. Your love, they affect my brain. Oh, my love, they go insane. Just leave them the way we be, the way we teach. My love, all these fake people they say I don't lose my sex, my pain, but they can't stop me from loving you. I went to my love. Everything is very I make my heart to do very nobody can love me the way I do. I'm into my everything is very I make my heart to do very nobody can love me the way I do. I'm into my everything is very I make my heart to do very nobody can love me the way I do. I'm into my everything is very my heart to do nobody can love you the way I do. I'm into my love. It comes easy.
Wagwan, my beautiful people, how are you doing? Karibuni sana to another episode of the African Diary Show. Wagwan, how are you doing? I'm Sanken one. I saw you were here even before I came in. Karibu sana and asante sana for waiting for me and also being with me here today. I see somebody also in the building. Wagwan, how are you doing? But karibuni sana to another episode of the African Diary. My name is Katie, and in case you're there joining us for the first time, all you have to do is smash that like button, and also in case you've not subscribed to this channel, please make sure you do. But karibuni sana. I hope you're gonna enjoy the beautiful amazing show I've planned for you. Karibuni sana, and also my apologies, yesterday I was not around, but yes, I'm okay, and I am back. like I never left. But anyway, karibuni sana. Let's get to enjoy the amazing show with you. And in case you're there, please remember we are live and interactive on our media handles. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Black Hot Fire Network. To all the silent listeners who are listening to me via the radio, asanteni tena sana, and also karibuni sana. We're just getting started with our show for today, and I'm hoping at the end of this show we will all have enjoyed the show. So we started off the show with an amazing jam called Yori Yori, done by the Bracket. I hope you did get to jam and to eat. But yes, karibuni sana. And because I have a lot to talk about today, I don't want to go back to the music, so we shall get started. But before we get started, it is a norm in our culture to be sharing a motivational quote of the day, or rather a motivational quote during the day. And also my quote of the day says that today is your day to start afresh, to eat right, to train hard, to live healthy, and to be proud. So in case you're there outside, be proud, live healthy, or rather eat healthy, train hard, eat right, and start afresh. Don't worry about starting afresh. It is always a right to be starting afresh. But anyway, karibuni sana. In case you're there, you have a motivational quote of the day you'd love to share with me. Also, I wouldn't mind being motivated by you, and also I wouldn't mind even hearing those wise words from my elders. But anyway, karibuni sana. We're just getting started, and on today's show, I want us to discuss about Sudan. We know a lot is happening in Sudan. And I want you guys to help me, because I think whatever is happening in Sudan will affect not only the Horn of Africa, it will affect Africa. But do you agree with me? Or rather, do you think that, or rather, could the Sudan unrest inflame the Horn of Africa? Let me know what are your thoughts. Do you think that whatever is happening in Sudan will affect the Horn of Africa, or rather the African continent at large? Let me know what are your thoughts regarding the same, or rather the question, so that we get to that conversation later on as we start with our show for today. But for now, I have something to share about. This is something we talked about sometime on the Rhythm Scope show, and also we talked about it some time back on the Vibe show, and it is about a certain club, notorious club right here in Nairobi, that has been assaulting people. And what happened lately is that a body was found there, disposed in their septic tank. And now what is happening right now is that the friends of the guy, or the friends of the guy whose body was found there, who had gone with him clubbing in that club, have identified the body and said it belongs to their friend. But the family of the boy, or rather the man whose body was discovered there, said that is not their son. And also the club has a lot to answer, because one, how did that body end up there? But anyway, let's get to see this as we continue with our show for today, because it is something that needs to be talked through. This club has become one of the notorious places, or rather one of the notorious clubs where we have people assaulting. We have the bouncers assaulting so many people, and they go unpunished. This is not the first body to be discovered around that place, but nobody gets to talk about it. It is crazy with corruption, with how Africa is corrupt. Imagine right now we have a family that is waiting for their son to return home, but the friend say that this is his body, but the family is in denial. But anyway, let me get to share this with you as we continue with our show for today, and also as you tell me, what do you think about the matter? Okay, apologies. Let me enlarge my screen.
But 23-year-old man, he was kicked out of a bar come restaurant where he was partying with his friends. So they searched for Emmanuel Omondi, who had just received a job offer at the telecommunication company, in which he was to report 2 days.
Good morning, Sister Michelle.
Opened a can of worms after an identified body was discovered at the club's septic tank 9 days later. Omondi's friends claimed that the decomposing body was that of their friend, but the family members who viewed the body disputed those claims.
Julius Odhiambo at Kariobangi South Market. Odhiambo, who hails from Eldoret in Uasin Gishu County, finds solace from his cousin Dickens Otieno following the mysterious disappearance of his son Emmanuel Omondi on the 31st of March near Hornbill Restaurant in Rongai. What was meant to be the night of celebration with his 7 friends, after Omondi got a job offer at a telecommunication company, turned into days of endless search for the young man. The father says the last time he was seen was when bouncers from these premises threw him out after he allegedly became...
Mind you, this is a club that is notorious. In this club, I was assaulted. Yesterday, I was in court following the same case, and it is crazy. Man, these people are deep in the government. It is crazy. The fight is not worth. It is crazy.
Unruly after having one too many.
Hii sehemu inaonyesha kijana akisukumwa nje na mabouncer wawili.
Okay, on this video we're being shown this is what we're being shown clearly, that this guy was escorted out of the club, okay?
Unruly after having one too many.
Okay.
Hii sehemu inaonyesha kijana
This is
akisukumwa.
the gate of the club. I know this place. So this is the gate of the club. This shows that this guy was escorted out of the club. But how did the body end up in the septic tank? And also, the craziest matter about this is that now the family is in denial that this is not their son. The body that was discovered in the place is not their son's body. And now the friends of this guy who had gone with him there, they are saying this is him. These are the clothes he had worn, but the family is in denial. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Nje na mabouncer wawili akabiliwa watu wamevaa kwa club wakimtumshipi na kuanza kumpiga search kwa mifuko. The same footage inaonyesha gari imesimama on the left hand side ya hiyo gates, na katika hiyo gari KBQ 504X.
Odhiambo claims his son was seen chatting with a driver before getting into a car that drove off. Omondi has never been seen since then.
Tukaanza kuomba wafanye uchunguzi kuhusu hii gari pia. Mpaka wa leo hatujasikia story yoyote.
The craziest story is that they are saying that this guy entered in a vehicle that was identified. They identified the number plate, they identified the car, but what is this we're being hidden from? Because there's a story that we are missing. And also, this parent has a different story, because I saw somebody came and told me about this story. He told me, by the way, have you heard about Hornbill? And I was like, what has happened in Hornbill? Today the DCIs have been there, and because there was a body that was discovered in the septic tank. And I was like, wow, a body in the septic tank. Who put the body in the septic tank? Because one, it is only the management of the club or the people who are there who would know where the septic tank is and how to get in the septic tank, right? Because me, when I'm going there, I wouldn't know where the septic tank is. But it is crazy. And also they are saying, in the story also that was given out there is that this guy was mugged by Boda people and carried by them. They mugged him and carried him. But you hear now this parent has a different story, that this guy entered in a certain car, which is identified. Does that story even make sense? These people, they are hiding something, but this club, it is a notorious one.
Shocked the family was the fact that one of his friends had his phone and his national identity card and had received calls from family members who thought they were in communication with Omondi.
Waliomuita katika sherehe hii yao, katika hiyo tamasha yao, basi wanajibu kwa sababu baki na ID yake na wakabaki na simu yake.
And as we are talking, the people who have been arrested for the to answer the questions are the friends. How comes nobody from the club is being arrested? Because it doesn't make sense. Does it even make sense to you?
na alipotoa nje late hours of the night hawakumfuatilia. So jawabu huenda ikapatikana kama hawa marafiki watazungumuza na watuambie mahali mtoto ali.
9 days after Omondi's disappearance on the 8th of April, an identified body was discovered in an open septic tank behind the restaurant's engine room. Police in their report stated that the dress code of the deceased was fitting that of Omondi, who had been reported missing on the 4th of April. But the family disputed the report after viewing the body lying at the city mortuary.
Entry ya hii septic tank imefungwa na kifuli na nyororo, ambapo hakuna mtu anaweza pata access to there isipokuwa tu.
Exactly. It is only the management and also people who works there that knows the septic tank. And also he's saying that the septic tank of that place is closed with the chains and a padlock. How come a body ended up there?
Management ya Hornbill kuja kuidentify mwili nikapata sio ya Emmanuel Omondi. Hii mwili
This is the club that had me going to court all the time.
Ni tofauti.
Naomba DCI wafanye uchunguzi ya haki na tupate uchunguzi ya haki.
Kajiado North Sub-County Commander Hussein Gura says they have recorded statements from 17 people, including Omondi's friends and club staff, in relation to the disappearance. Gura says the identity of the man discovered in the septic tank at Hornbill will help unravel the mystery over Omondi's disappearance.
It is unclear where he went. It is unclear how now the family is disputing that this is their body. They might be in denial, but at the end of the day, this is their son's body. They might be in denial, but at the end of the day, this is their son's body, because the friends are saying this is how he was wearing and this is him. But the family is saying, no, this is not our son. But anyway, who do you think that is answerable to all this mystery? Because I think one, it is the club needs to be answering. Why were the bouncers mugging this guy? And also, why did they remove him out of the club? And also, they said, when they were recording a statement, these bouncers said that this guy was mugged by boda guys. And now, why does now the parent has a different story? You know, it is quite a mystery. And man, it is not safe out here. It is not safe out here. You know, this got me even thinking that the family is already manipulated. You know, there are circumstances that that people could be manipulated but with money and told, don't accept the claims that this body is your son's. You know, Africa is crazy. And whenever you mention money, oh my God. It is crazy. That is a sad story. It is a sad news. But I hope this family will get to accept, because at the end of the day, they are waiting for a son who is never coming back. They are waiting for us for a son who is never coming back, thinking that this is not their son's body, but it is their son's body. But I see Kid, you're asking, isn't that one of your clubs, Katie, that you go to get your dance on? Actually, I never now go to this club. Never, ever, ever. I can never return there. And also, Ansan Kenon, you're saying, Katie, I worry about you. You are asking dangerous questions. Which questions did I ask? Which dangerous question did I ask? Oh my God, I didn't notice I asked a dangerous question. But anyway, if you're saying, damn Katie, you sure know how to pick nice places to party as shit. Lol. This club, man, okay, I even don't want to talk much about this place. You know, it is a close place. It is a nice place to, I never thought it's this scandalous to be in that place. I never thought about that until it happened to me. But Kid, you're also saying they know he's dead. They might be knowing, but they are in denial. But also remember, this is Africa, where corruption works every day. They might also be knowing that he is dead, and also they might be paid off by the club to shut up and say, this is not our child's body, you know, because it is crazy how the friends who are with him says that this is him, this is how he had dressed. But you as a parent, you come and say, this is not my son. No, this is not my son. Yet we have a DNA. Why are they taking so long to conduct a DNA? You know, it is crazy. But anyway, I also have one more news before we get now to talk about Sudan. A lot is happening in Sudan. And do remember, I asked you about a question. Do you think that whatever is happening in Sudan could affect the whole of Africa, or rather the Horn of Africa? Do let me know what you think about the matter as we continue with our show for today, and also as we keep on interacting. And also the next news and updates, it's about a certain pastor we talked about who is now recruiting people to a certain cult. I don't know how to call it, but let's get to listen to this because it is crazy. Whatever is happening in Kenya, it's just crazy. Yesterday I was going through the news, and this is how I found all about this. You know, sometimes I don't watch the Kenyan news most of the time, but yesterday I decided to go through the news, and I was like, what is happening in Kenya? What is happening in Kenya? But anyway, I'm sorry about that. Let me expand my screen. Okay.
In police custody for 14 days after Malindi court quashed an earlier controversial Paul Mackenzie will remain in police custody for 4 days after Malindi court quashed an earlier police bond, while his followers will remain in police custody for between 7 and 14 days. The court also granted a court order allowing the exhumation of 14 bodies believed to be part of his followers who could have starved to death and got buried at Shakahola, where the cult was conducting alleged cultic activities. Martin Munene has more.
Controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie appeared in a Malindi court before Chief Magistrate Elizabeth Usui on Monday, and here the prosecution sought to have his police board cancelled.
Paul Mackenzie, and a police bond that the court had earlier issued and directed that he be released pending the investigations is hereby cancelled.
The church leader of days.
Aspects 1 to 7 to remain in police custody for 14 days. Too much.
The court bodies believed to be in a mass grave in Shakahola. The May 2023. These are 7 other victims who were rescued from the controversial cult on Sunday night and a relative of finding their
sasa wakatoroka.
so ensure the church is shut down for good.
Serikali yetu tusaidie tuweze kuona wenzetu hata kama wamekufa, watutolee tuende tuwapumzishe, maana mioyo yetu itakuwa imetulia tusipowaona.
Kaja hapa ili kutafuta, kaona mwili wake hayuko pale, wale ambao mahututi hayuko. Sasa nikatamani kwenda kule, kaambiwa kule huwezi kwenda mpaka umeandamana.
Stupid. How would you be introduced into a certain cult and you just start following it? It is crazy.
Some of the relatives had traveled from as far as Kisumu, Kapsabet, Kajiado, and Machakos, while others are residents of Kilifi County.
people end up being black men newscasters in Tampa. Pleasant sight, sight to behold one. Yes, and also I see Ansan Kenan, you're saying, Katie, your stream is breaking badly. Yes, I did notice okay, it is buffering a lot. I don't know what is happening to the internet. But anyway, I asked you a question about Sudan, and I asked you about what do you think now will happen, or do you think that whatever is happening in Sudan will affect the Horn of Africa, or rather Africa at large? And my question comes as because right now situation is getting worse. This is what we say. The situation in Sudan is getting worse every day. Like people are dying, people are losing their lives. We have this force army group that is fighting now the Sudanese army military. I mean, and the situation right now is not getting any better for Sudan. But do let me know what you think about the matter, or also do let me know, do you think that whatever is happening in Sudan will get to affect the Horn of Africa, or rather even African countries? And as we continue, I have this video to share, and also I have an article to read for you so that we can get now to the main discussion, because that is the main discussion, the conversation actually. The video is all about Sudan, so I want us to listen to it as we continue with our show for today. And also do let me know what you think about the matter, because right now Sudan's unity is in danger. Okay, Sudan unity is in danger, and what is happening in Sudan? But do you think that whatever is happening in Sudan will get to affect the rest of African countries? Do let me know what you think about the matter as we continue with this video, and also as we continue in.
But how will this play out? And is Sudan's unity in danger? This is Inside Story. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Darine Abougaida. The streets of Sudan are once again seeing the devastating effects of conflict. Political differences are plunging the nation into further instability and threatening to bring full-scale war. The latest violence began on Saturday after weeks of tension between the army and the powerful paramilitary group known as the Rapid Support Forces. Have been cut in many areas. After years of coups, protests, and political instability, the people of Sudan were getting ready for a new government. But now those plans are at risk as the threat of an all-out civil war looms over the country. The former Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok, who had a crucial role in the fragile democratic transition, is pleading with both sides to stop the fighting.
My first message is to General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the leaders of the Sudanese military, and to Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo and the leaders of the Rapid Support Forces. The exchange of fire must stop immediately, and the voice of reason must rule. Everyone will lose, and there is no victory when it's on top of the bodies of our people.
All right, let's take a closer look at what's led to this unrest. So the most recent bout of instability emerged in 2019. That's when the military and the Rapid Support Forces ousted the longtime leader Omar al-Bashir after months of mass protests. 2 years later, they carried out another military takeover, this time by pushing out Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok, who is seen as the face of the transition to democracy. Military leaders
I think you're in there. I don't know why you're not answering the question before we get to the discussion.
With politicians last year. In it, they promised to pave the way towards a civilian-led government and fair elections. But that has yet to happen. A new government deal was scheduled to be signed 2 weeks ago, but disputes about how to integrate the rapid support forces into the army escalated and delayed the process once more. We'll now bring in all our guests joining us from Khartoum. We have with us Maryam Mahdi, who's the leader of the National Ummah Party and a former Foreign Minister of Sudan. Ala Ad-Din Nugug, a spokesperson for the Sudanese Professional Association, a part of the Forces of Freedom and Change Coalition. And also Dalia Muhammad Abdel Mun'am is joining us, who's a Sudan-based activist. Thank you for your time with us on Inside Story. Maryam Al-Mahdi, first to you. Just earlier this month, your Secretary General of the National Ummah Party said that the political process to restore transitional civilian rule has reached its final stages, and we hope that it will be completed in the coming days. So have these latest developments come as a shock to you, and what's the official reaction of your party?
Thank you very much, Ms. Devine, and I welcome you and all your followers and your...
I actually don't want even to listen to this. I just want us to get to the main conversation because right now Sudan's unity is at risk. Not only Sudan's unity, but all neighbors of Sudan, we are at risk, starting from the Horn of Africa, going to all African countries, because whatever is happening in Sudan is to make sure that it destabilizes the African continent. And I feel like, it is crazy that we just had the emergence of the RSF last week on Saturday. We have not been knowing these people. How do you mean that we had a force that is operating in the country and we have not ever heard of it? And this is a force that is super powerful. Actually, this, I went to look out for now to research about the origin of the RSF or the federal, what it is called, the rapid support forces. And they actually says that these people comes from Darfur. They come from Darfur. And remember, in Darfur, this is why we had so many captured. Like so many villages in Darfur are being captured. And I feel like now we've been confusing terrorism, or rather we've been confusing terrorists to this certain force, and they're actually terrorists. We can call them terrorists because whatever they are doing is it's a terror act. And right now, it is crazy how also they come and start killing. They want to kill the military or the Sudanese army. This is what they are trying to do. And these people, they are the ones who have been capturing so many villages. We hear that this area in Sudan has been captured. In Darfur, we had so many people dying, actually. This is when drought is striking these people. People are moving from up and down because there are people who are coming to burn them in their houses. We had bombings in Darfur. Remember, it was not actually last year. It was early this year. And also in December, we had so many people losing their lives in Darfur. And this group was situated in Darfur and located in Darfur. But, what is now happening right here? Once the government is in the hands of the army, or rather the military, it is hard to know what is happening because they never come and tell you we have a war between this group. But be sure that now the rapid forces, the rapid support forces have been sent by the Europeans to destabilize Sudan. We know Sudan is rich. It is rich in oil, right? And Darfur is one of the regions we have oil. What do you think they've been doing there? And right now, why is the war escalating up to the capital city of the country? They want to destabilize the whole country. And by the fact, I told you, this is a planned war. It is a planned war. You can't tell me that these people just woke up one day and decided, yes, we're going to start airstrikes. We're starting. It is a planned war. It is a planned war. Who is even funding these people? What do you mean? Africa, we're not even this rich to be doing airstrikes. Who is funding them? That is the question. How are we getting a place to start conducting airstrikes while we literally know that right now even the economy of Sudan is not working? It is a planned war. It is something that is planned against African people, or rather the Sudanese, not even Sudanese. It is planned against the African people. And we saw that we have President William Ruto of Kenya, we have the President of Djibouti, and also we have Salva Kiir of Sudan. These are the people who are going to initiate the talks. Do you think that even that makes sense to you? Do you think that it makes sense to you? It is a strategy that has been created to destabilize African countries. You can't tell me shit. You can't move me from that. This is a planned war, and whatever they are trying to do, we're not getting the whole message. Maybe there's somebody who knows the actual message, but whatever they are trying to do is to make sure that they destabilize Africa, kill Africans, and make sure that they continue stealing the wealth from us. It is a fact. You can't tell me that one day these people decided we are waking up, we have planes, we're just conducting airstrikes from nowhere. Where do you think they are getting all this shit? Come on, where do you think these people are getting even powerful weapons? This is Africa. We know we don't manufacture even a bullet. We know. We don't even manufacture a bullet. Where are they getting from? This is our mission. And for a fact, we saw, who is this? Was it Anthony Blinken who was in Somalia last week? And I was even asking myself, and I kept on asking, how is it that now this person is visiting a place in Somalia where we know that this is one of the unsafest places in Africa, but nothing gets to happen to him. We'd never hear that his convoy has been bombed. But you as an African, toka hapo hivyo nje kidogo, your ass is blown. It doesn't make sense that when he's in Africa, there's nothing that is happening. You'll never hear that there was a terror attack today in the capital city. You'll never hear that. But you as a common civilian, try walk your ass out. You'll be blown out. What do you mean? Man, Africans, we need to wake up. And these puppets, they need to be wiped out. Because they know whatever is happening. You can't tell me that the military of Sudan is not knowing what is happening. They know. They know they know what they have done. Or rather, they said no to some agenda that the European brought. And now they have to pay it. And actually, it's not the Sudanese who are paying it. It's not the military who is paying it. It is now the Sudanese. And it is the African continent. Actually, it is the African continent. We're going to face the heat of Sudan being in unrest right now. We're going to pay as African countries. Right here, we have 3,000 Kenyans who are trapped there. Right now, the airports are not operating. Also, last week, it was on Monday. So, on Monday, we talked about JKIA. That is the biggest airport we have in the 254. That is in Kenya. So, we said that JKIA has been shut. Excuse me. Has been shut. And it is because there was a technical error in one plane. Does that even make sense to you, my people? Does it? It doesn't. How can you shut a whole aircraft or rather carrier services just because one aeroplane is misbehaving? we just stupid. We need to wake up and realize what is happening. Right now, they want our people to die in Sudan. This is what they want to say. They want our people to die in Sudan. And for a fact, we know that in Nigeria, we have the airport workers. How do we call them? We have them striking. They are striking. Yes? So the airport is not operating in Nigeria. Right now in Kenya, the JKIA has been closed. In Sudan, the airports have been shut. So it means that Africans are going to die there. That is their mission. What do you mean that you're not seeing that? It is their mission. And we have, right now, we're talking about 3,000 personnel in Juba, or rather in Khartoum, not Juba, in Khartoum. So many African people in Sudan. Why do you think they are trapped there? Why do you think that they can never go back now to their countries? Because it is just like they planned the Russian-Ukraine invasion. It is what they are doing right here in Kenya, in Africa. And whatever they are planning for Sudan is not good. But it is... How are we gonna realize this when we are being controlled by puppets who always say yes to everything and don't even wonder about the consequences, don't even care about the consequences, because we're not able to pay the loan? We saw that. We saw them putting the road signs in Mandalin. Right now, they want Chinese, or rather Mandarin, to be taught in schools. But we're still not... Right now, we are in Africa, okay? We're fighting, we the influence we have of for Europeans. Don't you think that they are just using different European powers to dominate African countries? We're talking about the Chinese. We know that Chinese is a generated era. It's like these people are created by the Europeans and then they were put here. And then you're talking about the Chinese invasion. Excuse me. Excuse me. But it is crazy. It is crazy. I need to calm down. Let me just take a short musical break as I sip something and then we will be back. Okay.
Shifting, waking, make me feel like make my freedom see. Respect you, girls.
Yes, welcome back, my people. I hope you're enjoying the discussion, but I don't know why you're not interacting. Finish the African countries. If we don't realize this, man, we are dying up as African people. But let me go through this article as we continue with our show for today. And I see plumes of smoke fills Khartoum sky as Sudan's armed forces battle the Rapid Support Forces, a paramilitary group for control of the country and its capital. The fighting, which erupted last week, has killed at least 185 people, according to the United Nations Special Representative for Sudan. Why is it always the UN? How many lives we've lost? We call it United Nations, but it is all about distracting. There is nothing about uniting, all about distracting. But anyway. Airport, to hospitals, to water supplies for residents and damaged. And excuse me. But experts believe a full-blown civil war in Sudan could make things worse. And from a new refuge, crisis to water wars to meddling by powers from outside the region, to descend into civil war, then the entire Horn of Africa region will be affected. Matt Braden, a strategic advisor at Sahel Research, a think tank of political and security in the Horn of Africa, told Al Jazeera. Alarmed heads of state from the regional bloc Intergovernmental Authority on Development had of hostility. Ruto of Kenya, President Ismail tell the conflict groups. Another question: how will they get there? How will they get there? You know, these people are just stupid. Okay, we have our people stuck there. How are these people expected to go there? You know, we have the airlines are not operating. You don't want to mean that these people will drive all the way from here to about Khartoum being in an there. Just tell us the rapid attack will not attack you because their bosses have told you spare these ones. Man, it is just crazy, but we're not seeing things how they are. So far, however, these leaders have been unable to travel. This is an excuse due to the ongoing fighting between the warring parties. And a senior research fellow at the Africa program at the London-based among leaders in Horn of Africa about the prospects for regional spillover, he said. And Sudan shares borders with the 7 countries. 5 of those, we have Libya, the Central African Republic, we have South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Chad, are already theaters of ongoing armed conflict. Egypt and Eritrea are Sudan's Egypt and Eritrea are Sudan's other immediate neighbors. All these will be heavily affected, said Braden. It is crazy, but man, Africans, we need to see things just like they are, because it is just crazy. Yeah? Right now, we keep on talking about the UN. Of course, you here, we all know how dangerous the UN is. We all know their missions in Africa. We even had a video. I think there's this day I shared a video talking about the UN. And also, we have the UN people, or rather the UN, always the ones raping our women. Raping our women, and then they come and report to how many women were raped. Yet we know it is you. If these people were really peacekeepers, why do we have conflict everywhere in Africa? Why are you in Africa if you're not able to maintain peace? Because you're not really peacekeepers. Actually, bad happens to Africa. We know about that. Come on, don't tell me you don't know that. Huh? We also know that this weapons are not even actually being manufactured in Africa. We don't. I told you. Controls this group. Who manages this group? What is the mission, or rather, what is the agenda? As many Africans as they could, stealing our resources. We focus on the war, they focus on stealing. Eh? We are blinded just because now, it is crazy. Just like whatever was happening in DR Congo. You remember what was happening in DR Congo? And we had the puppet called Kagame saying that I'm not the three rebel group. Yet we know European, you're working for a European, you can do from neighbors, Africans, you know the saddest part. Okay? You're being used. How are you benefiting? To be used and also benefits from that. It is not bad being used if you're clever, but you're being used, you don't benefit in any way. Your country still remain impoverished. The muddy roads. These people are it is crazy, but also let's think it about the war. What is the main agenda behind? What do you? Because this is a force, or rather, this is a group that Africa, or rather sent to Sudan. Now, Sudan actually has been a war-torn country for quite some long time. Since 2019, when we had a sit-in, and we saw now a coup, and the government has never returned into civilian rule. Why do you think? Towards last week, we were talking about Sudan is supposed to go for peace talks, and the government to civilian rule. Why do just from that the violence just escalates? And so also do or rather to bring in Africa. But it's good. Just bring that gun to me. At least you're giving me power, and I'll shoot you. Yes. You know can be and brains and also dominate our minds. We will now start these were Africans. Weapons in Africa. Africans will be killing each other. And this is what they want. They are looking for a market for their weapons, but also they are looking for a solution as long as Africa is still in peace. And also this is what they really want. But do let me know what you think about the matter for today. And do remember, in the next few minutes, we shall be having think about comment section. I'll go through the comments later. Back now. Wiped out. People as any you have enjoyed the conversation, and also to everybody who is with us, please make sure you're saying strategy and also you're saying facts. Those baby blue helmets mean death. Exactly. And also I see and what did Zod do again? But anyway, Asante, I saw you somewhere. Sister Michelle, also I saw you somewhere. And to the rest of the silent listeners, Asanteni sana. I hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same place, to join us on the next episode of Tubonge. I'm with this is your
I'm with you, my love. I see you. They make my finger see and waste my time.